I have been teaching supply chain management and logistics and also researching a couple of years time. Anyway, professional integration of logistic management was a new topic when I was asked to present in this conference. Then I have done some kind of research, and mainly based on the literature, and found out how professional integration can work in logistic management field and how it can contribute to synchronization. First of all, I would like to talk about the aspects of synchronization. When we talk about the national security, there are many things come to my mind, mainly the military security, food security, humanitarian aids in disasters and emergencies, prevention of illegal drugs, weapons and immigrants, oil and energy supply, and also health issues, and there are few other things. Then when we talk about military security, I think I don't want to explain this in KDU. Military security is ability of armed forces to react threats to national security. Everybody knows that, but anyway, the requirement of military security shifted from traditional great power conflicts to more pragmatic sources such as civil wars and terrorism today. Then in this aspect, I think logistics has a big role. Then this area is known as military logistics. The term logistics actually developed in military. First journal of logistics was naval logistics. It refer to the specific need of forces to complete specific missions, to face security threats, more importantly with little preparation time. The military has to respond very rapidly. Among many activities, these are the major aspects of military logistics: design and development, acquisition, storage, movement, distribution, maintenance, evacuation and disposal of materials, transporting personnel, military troops. In addition to that, acquisition or construction, maintenance, operation and disposition of facilities, and also more importantly, acquisition of furnishing services and medical aspects of war. When we talk about deployment of the troops, the military logistics at a very high level in US, these are some of their achievements. They can do marine expeditionary units movement within 2-4 days. Brigade 82 second airborne movements within 4 days, 4 to 6 days. Still we feel that these are not adequate. Then there are a lot of research in this area, how to do the movement of troops within a very short period. When you look at the functions of military logistics, there are different areas: supply, acquisition, logistic information system, equipment maintenance and repairs, transportation, infrastructure engineering, and medical support. Now when you look at these functions, you can see that the involvement of these functions are not limited to the logisticians. There is a coordination and integration between different functional areas. Logisticians, procurement specialists, IT professionals, especially developing the IT management systems for logistics, engineers, construction and services, work with the logisticians, medical professionals, in order to supply the necessary medicines and the drugs. In addition to move the casualties from battlefield to the hospitals. These are the actions of the logisticians. And also these actions should be done with the medical doctors. Construction supplies should be provided with the coordination should be done with the engineers. Repairs again should be done with the mechanical engineers, and logisticians are coordinating with each other. You can see the professional integration is a very important aspect for the success of the logistic activities. Then one party can't work alone. Then different professionals have to work together. Then my next item is food security. What we call as the food security. According to the World Food Summit definition, it is all people at all times have physical and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food to meet their dietary needs and food preference for an active and healthy life. There are few important aspects. When you look at this slide, you can see food utilization coming under food security, nutritional value, social value, and safety comes under that. Food access that depends on the affordability of the people, allocation and preference, the allocation done by the government, and food availability, more important aspect. Even though we have affordability, that is, even though we have money, if the food is not available, there is no access to food. Therefore, the logistic is playing a role in the area of food availability. The logisticians have to work to make the food available to the people. There are different aspects of logistics which are very important in food supply. The capacity of the warehouse, road networks, the availability of the vehicles, availability of the human resources are some important aspects of logistics when we talk about the food security. Again, logistic affect not only on the availability. You can see if logistic is not up to a proper level. Suppose road network is not good, accessibility to the human being is not there. If the vehicle are not available, the most of the time food prices will go up. Then it will affect the accessibility of the people. The prices will go up. Then not only the food availability, the accessibility also, the economic sense of the people, the food accessibility will be difficult. Then logistic is important in order to provide the food at a reasonable price to the people. In doing this, it is very important to have the professional integration for food security, because here different parties are involved in. Not only the logisticians, they have to work with the producers, work with the sellers, and they have to work with the authorities. For example, in terms of logistics, they have to provide adequate warehousing. In addition to that, it is important to have good products which are transport friendly products. You can see here at the last picture, there are some development done by the agriculture people, so that they have changed the foods so that those are easily transported. Then transporting is a very important issue. In addition to that, proper packing is an important issue. You can see in Sri Lanka, the significant percentage of the food are going as waste because of the poor packaging. Therefore, it is important to develop proper packaging methods. Then logistic people has to work with the sellers as also with the other technologies to develop proper packaging material. I think all of us can remember in this paper cutting was from 2011 Business Times. Treasury has granted 103 billion for plastic containers to avoid the food waste, but it didn't work. Then policymakers has to work with the other people, with the agricultural farmers, the agriculture technologists, and also the sellers to develop some policies so that this food waste is eliminated. Otherwise, the food security is sometimes can be a miracle. Food security is not the sufficiency of the food, self-sufficiency. It is the availability of the food for everybody. Even food can be imported, but it should be available to the people. The other issue is logistics. What is the role of logistics in disasters and emergencies? This is a very important issue in national security. In disaster situation, logistics is important. Natural disaster, then logistics play a great role in providing the relief resources to the human being. Then what are the challenges faced by logisticians? Most of the time, one of the big problem is transport infrastructure. Most of the time, roads, bridges, power and other telecommunication facilities are destroyed due to the disasters. Then it is difficult to communicate and provide the food reliefs and other materials to the casualty people. Other issue is inadequate warehouse capacity. Most of the time we can see there are a lot of donor agencies, they provide the aids. But issue is our logistic is not ready for that, not ready to accept those. The inadequate warehouses is a big issue in receiving those donations. Insufficient transport equipment. That is most of the time trucks, vehicles and those kind of things. Poor use of information technology. Due to the lack of information technology use, there is no data about the casualties and where we need donations, where we need relief activities. Sometime in a paper article I read recently, they have cited that in 2005 or 2004 tsunami, in some places some donor agencies are doing, donors have to get the information through papers, not through proper information systems. Another issue is the lack of trained logisticians to face to this critical situation has become a big problem, because even though they are good in logistic and supply chain activities, they are not good in providing the logistic facilities in emergency situations. Therefore, these logisticians should be trained for how to face these emergency situations. Especially tsunami relief activities, one of the major issues, the logistical issue, supplying the donations coming from the donor agencies. We need some improvement in all these areas to improve the logistic activities. The collaboration between donor agencies, government, community, leaders, logisticians is essential in relief activities. There is a proper integration between all these parties. It is also important to develop the logistic managers' knowledge and skills to lead more effectively and efficiently face for future emergency responses. Another issue is the warehouses and other logistical requirements. As the fourth issue, I would like to highlight the logistical issue of illegal drugs, weapons and immigrants. Trafficking, trade and passenger crossing at international borders has been a result for illegal drugs, weapons and immigrants. That is a great threat to the national security. You can see in Sri Lanka in the recent past, there were some incidents. Cocaine smuggling. Those came in the intermodal containers. Usually these, when we load these intermodal containers, those are going across several borders. The check-in is very rarely happen. Then that has a result for this illegal drug situation. In this situation, logisticians has a great role. The logistic companies should have technology for detection, ability to choose container for checking. Then they should be trained in those areas, not only their logistic activities. And the logisticians have to work with other law enforcing authorities, and they have to integrate with other government bodies to come up to overcome this situation. In this aspect, professional integration of the logistician is very important. They should have the thorough knowledge on different aspects of logistics. Not only that, they have to work with different professionals within and outside their profession. Among these professions, they have to work with medical practitioners, engineers, government authorities, and other donor agencies, and many more. Then only they can achieve the success of the logistics. Thank you.